our second conversation and questions show with myself, Avana Intuitive, and Terri Soma of Soma Healing Arts. This is for May 10th, 2022. We have some questions we're going to answer for you today. And, there we go. We're ready to get started. I'll read the first question. Are you ready, Terri?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Our first question to read on. What can we expect in the next few months with inflation? I'll say it one more time. What can we expect in the next few months with inflation? Well, I'm going to take that card. It just popped out. All right, I'm ready. If you don't mind. Okay, here we go. The first card that I got was the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles tells me that basically we're looking up at money. This gentleman, this page in this card is looking up at Pentacles. He's looking up at the money. I kind of take this that we're all looking up what's going on. What's going on with inflation? What where do we need to go with it? What do we need to know about it? So I think if we all are questioning inflation with this card. My challenge is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords tells me that there's not going to be a big retreat in it. This card is a card of rest, relaxation, retreat. Being that it's in a challenging position, I don't think that it's going to retreat anytime soon, unfortunately. And then my outcome card is the Five of Pentacles, and this card represents basically loss of wealth and loss of health. However, the Five of Pentacles here, this is also the church. So if these people would just go into the church, they would get warmth, they would get food, they would, get some help, anything that, clothing, whatever they might need. So this tells me, the way I'm reading this card right now, is that help will be on the way. Okay. Whether it's something from the government or something, the market changes. And I pulled a clarifying card and I got the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles showing a merchant or a businessman who's very balanced and who is giving out charity. So this card, actually it's the Five and the Six of Pentacles. These two cards combined are kind of telling me that yes, while things may start to get worse or stay like they are, and we feel like maybe there's no end in sight, I think that, and I'm going to say probably within the next few months, Congress is going to do maybe some type of legislation or just something coming up to help stabilize this pricing. So I'm going to say that what can we expect in the near future? We can expect much more of the same, but I think there is some type of relief coming, and it's probably going to be through government, some type of program. So that's the read I get with that.
Wonderful. Okay. This is what I've got for the first card is the Nine of Wands in reverse. So as far as with that one, let me do it this way. It's going to be as far as on the defensive side, kind of defending what you're going to be spending your money on, obstacles, some hesitations, and a weak financial system right now. So that's what I'm getting with that one. So with the next one is the Ten of Pentacles, but also in reverse. Okay. So this one I am picking up that it's the financial failures, the disconnect with it, decreased in fortune. So you're going to have to be spending more, so making logical sacrifices for yourself and your family. Yep. And for investment, so that might include even the stock market, as far as the inflation and stuff too. So that's what I've got for card number 2. Third card then is Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So with that one is the learning curve, the learning of new ways of taking that financial responsibility on for yourself, being impatient though. wanting to things turn out to be an instant gratification. Unfortunately, it's not going to be happening that way. It's going to take a little time. And so coming up for, as far as the self-expression, again, I believe it's more or less trying to figure out what you're going to be spending your money on and making the sacrifices that you need to.
Yeah.
I did pull another card from the Akashic Tarot, and that is wishes fulfilled. So I think in the long run, making the sacrifices that we do for the reasons that it is happening, that we will come out better as a country, as a nation, and knowing that we made sacrifices for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Though it is a financial burden right now, there's things that are going on that, as far as the fulfillment in the end. Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah, very good.
Yes. Okay.
You had a lot of cards in reverse on that one.
I did, yeah. So interesting how it all kind of coincide with the financial situation of the inflation.
Yes.
Okay, so the next question is what is going on with the supply chain?
Okay. Oh, I just dropped 3 cards. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, I got them. Obviously, there's a lot of energy around this issue from my deck here.
Right.
I'm gonna get started on reading. The first card I got was the 4 of Wands. This kind of shows me in this case regarding the supply chain. Here's kind of the supplies, and they have to get through these wands here to get out to people. So I'm kind of looking at it like we actually have enough product and enough supply of food and everything, but there seems to be some problems with it actually moving forward and getting through. Not big problems though, because this is a card of celebration. So I'm not seeing big issues with this card, but that's kind of showing me that the supply is sitting there, but we're having some problems maybe getting through. The challenge card is the 8 of Cups. This is actually moving to something better. These cups sit here. There's nothing different. Nothing changes with these cups, but this person is leaving for something better. This often represents moving to a better job or a better house or, a new town. Kind of what we're talking about here, this being the challenging card, things moving from town to town or from one region of, the country to the next or whatever for delivery. So being that it's in the challenge position or the obstacle position, this kind of is saying to me that yes, we are having some supply chain issues, but coupled with this card, we have enough of everything. The outcome being the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands, defending your position. This card to me also represents some level of speed. If you'll look at this card, he has 1 boot on and 1 shoe. He quickly threw his boot on and his shoe to go defend his position. So the outcome being things need to move quickly, but there may be some need for us to kind of defend our position. How do I want to say that? The outcome being things are moving quickly, or they should be moving quickly, but they're not quite moving quickly enough. And then I did pull one clarifier card when I got the King of Swords, and the King of Swords representing communication, representing moving forward. The King of Swords, while an excellent leader, he does not take, he doesn't really, everything's cut and dried with him. It's either yes or no. So I think that moving forward, we have the supply, we know that. We're having some issue in getting supply, through that supply chain. There's going to be obviously some bickering, and everybody feels like maybe they don't have every single, product on the market that they'd like to have. Okay, I think maybe that's what this card represents. You're maybe at the supermarket and you can still get certain items, but you can't maybe get the brand or the item that you exactly want. But this King of Swords also then wraps it up with just saying, listen, the supply chain, I don't really see it being a huge issue going forward as things move into place, and as companies and the government and everybody really also starts to communicate and get onto a plan to just to keep things moving. But the best card out of this to me is this Four of Wands that says we do have everything. It just may be a little bit of a rocky passageway to get it to us, but it's coming, and I don't see it as being a huge issue.
Okay. All right. So the first card that I had drawn is the Emperor in reverse. So this one is being, as far as with the supply chain, it's being rigid, inflexible, patient. Yeah, a little bit of as far as the suppliers though, it's coming up a little bit of abuse of the power. Trying to maybe as far as getting the items where they need to be in a timely manner and so forth with that one. But and then trying to have excessive control. Maybe that might be too a little bit of the price gouging coming in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of the denomination, dominating the situation at this current time. Making a play for the money right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So the second card was Ace of Wands. That is in the upright though. And as far as now, we're going to have to get into a new cycle of enterprise. Okay. So maybe new companies adding to our own supply chain in the United States, not depending on other so much as far as countries, looking to ourselves, our own creative abilities to supply us with what we're needing, or different supplies that we can come up with and be productive within our own country, and having a will and determination of doing that. Again, producing what we are needing, and then expanding the potential of that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So the third card then is Queen of Pentacles then. Okay, so that one I'm getting, it's industrious. It's going to be generous, creative, practical, business-like. So yeah, as far as the supply chains then too, we're looking to ourselves, taking it into our own hands as far as a country together, our communities, and really helping each other out at this time then to move the supply chain forward and not be hesitant about, as far as there's a breakdown, now let's take care of it.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the outcome then too is for a clarifier, the Queen of Scrolls. So as far as with that, a real good outcome, moving in the right direction with taking the supply chain issues into our own hands, and coming up with creative ideas and solutions to do that.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think you're right. Absolutely. Coming up where we get industrious and we start to really just solve those problems on our own, and and get creative, and like you said, some new industries maybe come into play or whatever, or some type of new, software or whatever it is to move that stuff along, and we just all work together and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right.
Okay.
Along the supply chain question, we also have a question on, do we need to worry about any food shortages? So again, do we need to worry about any food shortages? Okay, I'm going to get started. The first part I get is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands represents speed. So things moving quickly. As far as the food shortages, again, I think it goes back to what I said in the previous read, which is you may not get all the products on the shelf that you want, but there definitely will be product on the shelf. So this again represents speed and moving ahead quickly. The Page of Pentacles is in the obstacle place, and maybe, I don't know, to be honest with you, Page of Pentacles and as an obstacle, maybe not having the speed, even though the first card is the speed. The Page of Pentacles represents like a young 20-year-old, very happy to, start making money and things. So maybe in this case, the obstacle is basically that while things should be moving faster, they just really aren't. Okay, so the things are a little bit slower than they should be. But while those are important cards, the outcome that I got is the Knight of Cups. And he is moving forward, and he is bringing, this is actually a good message. So he has a good message going forward. You can see his horse is moving forward. He's not moving forward at a galloping, he's not galloping forward, but he definitely is moving forward. So I think the outcome with any food shortages that we may have will be short-lived, or will not, again, nobody's going to go hungry again. You might not get the brand you want, but everything, the shelves will be really relatively stocked relatively well. And then the outcome card, I got the Star card. So this is represents balance, represents a wish come true, represents just a very good outcome. So I think actually, Terri, kind of working on what you said with the other read, maybe even having some some new innovative ideas on how to move food through the system, or, and the supply chain and that. I think we're going to have a really good outcome. I actually think having us all these things stop and maybe have us take a second look at things is actually going to, have us come up with some creative ideas and some new innovations in that. So again, with the Star card, I don't see that we're going to have really any issues at all with food shortages. I mean, not at all. Again, you have to, be mindful of what you need in that. And if there's certain brands you're looking for, you may not find them, but I don't think anyone's going to go hungry or anything like that.
Oh, good. All right. So the first card I have is the King of Wands. Now with this one, I was picking up more of the entrepreneurs stepping in, the creative ideas, how to take care of the situation of the food shortages and so forth, and ambitious about it. So as far as with that, partnering, advising, is coming up with that one. So that's our first card. Second card is Five of Cups. And with this one, we're going to feel a little bit of the pain and the loss right now. But as far as a little bit of the despair, can't get really the top notch of what maybe you're wanting in this regrouping process. And a little bit of the dissatisfaction that's coming up with that one. So, as far as but sticking with the plan of let's take care of the situation. Okay, and then I believe you got the same one that I did, is the Knight of Cups.
Oh my gosh, and not only that, but in the same position. The third card.
Yeah.
That's like crazy.
So as far as with that one, new proposals, new companies, and new businesses venturing together, being a creative way of bringing their two businesses or even more together to solve problems. So it's great that came up with that one too.
Yeah, as the outcome.
Yes. As far as with the clarifier, the Eight of Keys is the master artisans. So again, creating new ways of bringing about the change that we are wanting to take care of the shortages and things of that nature. So again, new businesses could be like with the hydroponics and things like that, going to some more of the different industries there that, we can kind of look into, and be the farmers markets, the small rural areas that, can add theirs, their into their growing season. So
yeah,
we don't come with it though.
Yep. All right. That was crazy that we both got the same outcome card.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask the next question?
Sure. Just shuffling here. Let me see. So what is going on with the housing market?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. So yeah, with all the different programs ending to help people out. Now that some of those programs are ending, how's the housing market situation?
All right, I'm going to get started. I have as the first card, I got the Death card. The Death card representing change. Obviously, it sounds like we have some definite change coming up with some of these programs ending, but also I think there may be some change coming up with some of the houses that are just selling that are just so overpaid, overpriced. At least in my area, houses in my area are just selling for more money than you can ever imagine. And I think that housing bubble may be getting ready to burst, not very soon, but in the next few months. But again, so change is coming. Housing, some of these programs are ending, and also I think that housing bubble may be coming to an end. Not soon, but in the next few months. The challenge or the obstacle is the Ten of Pentacles. This is an interesting card to get because, especially in the challenge position, because it shows a family. There's children and parents and a grandfather and dogs. It shows a family at their house, and they obviously have all these pentacles. You can't get any more pentacles on a card than the Ten of Pentacles, representing money, inheritance, housing, family things that, again, like an inheritance or legacy money. That being in the challenging position or the obstacle position tells me that there may be people. I'm getting kind of a sense where people are, yes, you sell your house for a lot of money, but you're going to pay a lot more money to buy a house, which is, I think, actually causing some people some pain. Maybe they're moving up into a house that they really can't afford, or they're paying top dollar for. They can't afford maybe to do some of the upgrades that the house needs. I think actually, because of this is in the obstacle position, I'm just getting the feeling that people are, they're getting into this market, they're again, selling high, but also buying for a lot more money than maybe they can really afford to buy for. So that would be the challenge. The outcome, though, is the Page of Pentacles. Again, this is a youthful energy. He's looking up at this pentacle. I see things changing, kind of, again, this pentacle card with this change card, with this death card, this card of change, kind of changing and slowing down. Even though he represents youth and he represents, like I say, a lot of energy. Being that we're going from maybe these 10 pentacles to like a page with one pentacle, kind of shows me that things will be slowing down. Again, it's going to be a few more months. As a clarifying card, I got the High Priestess. This representing a lot of secrets. I think there might be some secrets, maybe, or things we don't know about the market, things that are going on behind the scenes, even with the banking system, maybe, that are causing, or with some of these programs ending, maybe some government programs or things. I'm getting the feeling that some of this is also going to be just drawn or predicated upon the fact that there's things going on that we're not really, we don't really know about. And that can even be things we don't know about with the banking, with the inflation rate, which obviously affects people, getting a mortgage, and with their interest rates. So I just think that there's some secrets that will probably come out again in the next few months, which will, I think, slow the market down and have people having a little bit more of a hard look at what they're going to be doing as they move forward. But so what's going on with the housing market is the question. I think the first question, or the first answer, is I think there's a lot some behind the scenes with some of the banking and things like that, and the government programs that maybe we aren't fully aware of. But I also think that things will be slowing down. This market will burst in the next few months, is kind of what I'm thinking with these cards, and the feeling that I'm getting.
All right. All right, so my first card is 7, is the Chariot in reverse. And with that one, I'm picking up more or less the insecurity of the housing market, lack of control, aggression in some situations, depending upon the state. And just as far as with the chaos of it right now, kind of leaning towards the insecure feelings. And then the second card is 8 of Swords in reverse. And with that one, I'm picking up more of the, well, it's trying to figure out the way forward. Needing to come to some agreements so that the people that are needing the housing, that they are financially, stable to do so they don't overspend, get into a situation that they're not going to be in a stable situation in the future. That it's going to be something that they're not too insecure with. So there's going to have to be a knowing how these things are going to happen going forward. The third card is the 3 of Swords in reverse. And uneasy, feeling the discord with it, being blocked, arguments and discords coming, in the moving forward a little bit too. So yeah, very unstable I'm feeling. So with these cards, the ones that I've drawn. And then the clarifier is fated meeting. So a lot of meetings having to be taken in moving forward to come to some amicable agreements. And again, there's the clock tower in the center there.
Yeah.
And so the time is ticking away. It's a sensitive kind of issue because, again, with the question is, what is going on with the housing market? Basically, as far as with that, a lot of people feeling insecure about it and the direction that it's going. So, so a lot of meetings within the financial institutions trying to be able to be a lender for these people that are needing housing, how they're going to go about doing that, and then what housing is available to get these families and individuals in.
Yep. All right. Let's see our next question. Okay, here we go. Can we expect another stimulus check?
Okay.
Can we expect another stimulus check?
Jimmy, go first?
Yeah, are you ready?
I am ready.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So as far as with that one, I'm picking up as far as the negativity about it right now, people not wanting to have the money, be the answer right now in the form of a stimulus check. The outcome and control and disappointments coming up about it right now. So maybe it's maybe people are feeling like we need it, but it's not coming, soon enough or right now as far as with that. Ace of Swords in reverse also. With that one is the confusion, misinformation, failed communications with that one then too. How we're gonna supply and come up with the money for the stimulus package if that would be the direction that we would going to go in right now. Then the third is 9 of Cups in reverse. So as far as with that one, the dissatisfaction's coming up again. But as far as it's also kind of maybe taking a turn though too, maybe other ways if it's not in the form of a stimulus package, being generous in other ways. So maybe not like how we've had the stimulus package before. And I think some states, that might be like with the gas tax, right? That they were talking about, maybe a little bit more of things like that, as far as in relief. Because then the outcome then too is the ascent. Because as far as with doing different programs and different ideas as far as that, bringing it up to a higher level as far as more people being able to take advantage of different situations rather than just in the form of a check and money in the bank. Okay, so as far as what programs would it be that more people would be using as far as moving forward to have everybody elevate together?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, you'll see why as I start. Okay, first I got the Ace of Swords. I think you got that reversed, and I'm not sure exactly what position you had it in, but I know you got the Ace of Swords because that's why I started smiling earlier. This card representing communication, moving forward, good ideas, ideas that are really, it is a good idea, I think, to have a stimulus check. I mean, I think there's discussions going on, this communication is going on saying we need to do something. Is it, like you said, is it specifically a stimulus check? We don't know, but we're going to have these discussions, and these discussions are really, are paramount to moving forward, to moving our country forward. So, okay, the discussions are taking place. So the challenge, though, is another Ace card, an Ace of Pentacles. This card is the obstacle, and this is a fertile new beginning. Well, in the challenging, position, or the obstacle position, it just doesn't seem to be able to move forward. Kind of a failure to launch, okay, is what I'm thinking. So yes, we all agree we'd like to have it, but we're not, things are just kind of stagnant as far as this fertile new beginning. My outcome card, though, is the Eight of Wands, which represents, moving forward and going quickly, moving forward. I'm thinking that, and I'm just going to say this, I'm thinking that as we get closer to the elections, things may pick up and these discussions may pick up a bit. So, okay, we're moving forward. And my clarifier card here is the Judgment card, a new beginning, bringing people up, like you said, up into, the higher ascending to a new level. So I really, really do agree with you. And I really like that idea of, maybe certain programs, having that money flow in a different way, but getting to the people that need it. And then I did pull one more card, and this is the smug merchant. He's also very happy. You see, he has a full tummy and he's very happy. So I think that, yes, going forward, there's these discussions. They're getting a little bit of a, the fertile of a new beginning is maybe not going as quickly. It's kind of at a standstill. I think as we get further along in the year, it's going to start to move forward. And then we have these outcome cards of, people ascending. People ascending and ascending, and feeling like they are getting some help. And so do I feel that with these cards, do I feel that we're going to have a specific stimulus check? No, I don't think that's the case. But I do think there's programs in place, or that will be put in place, which will certainly help some people to move forward. So.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Similar again as far as the outcomes, huh?
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah.
And actually, we had two cards the same, and I can't remember. It was the Ace of Swords, and there was actually another one that was the same. And I'm sorry, I forgot which one. But that's it's craziness. I mean, that we're getting these cards alike.
Yeah. Okay, the next question then is, in Ohio, will J.D. Vance win the Senate seat?
Okay. All right.
Kind of included Tim Ryan, but we'll just be more specific.
Yeah, it's going to be too difficult, I think, to read.
Yeah. What's the outcome then for J.D. Vance? Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so first card then is the Three of Cups. Looks like they're celebrating. However, so as far as it does say rewards the community and group, the party. So there's victory there. So that's for as far as the situation moving at this point. But then the second card is the Seven of Swords in reverse. It's a breakup. There's voids and arguments, and then clumsy and forgetting about some lies. So I'm so far I'm taking it that maybe as far as things are looking, in that direction for him, but then some things might be coming out. The third card then is the Temperance, and with that one I'm picking up an imbalance, discord, and lack of long-term vision. So violations coming up with that one. Okay. And then the outcome for the clarifier, the Oracle of Delphi. Speaking with that one, maybe having to relook at the situation, consult with other people around him, maybe the things that might be coming up, the information that was not maybe disclosed at a certain amount, the time that was coming up with the second card here as far as disclosure of some lies. So so maybe I'm having to backtrack on some information. So I'm pretty much in the long run, I don't think it's a good outcome for him in the long run.
Okay.
So even if maybe it looks like he's winning, there might be some information to kind of reverse it.
Okay. The first card I got is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands shows bickering, also learning. I kind of think that this represents his campaign. They're probably getting started learning how to, run a campaign. I'm not saying that they don't have experienced people or anything, but you're learning, you're getting your feet wet, you're bickering, you're deciding what your strategies are. So that would be the first card. The second card I got as an obstacle card is the Page of Cups. This can mean maybe not getting kind of a stinky fish message, or getting information that isn't maybe correct. I don't know if that is because they're receiving information that isn't accurate, or maybe they are giving out some information that isn't accurate. So that would be their obstacle. They're probably going to have some level of fighting, or I'm thinking some type of internal discourse, is going to take place, and just kind of burden them, at least at the beginning of their campaign. I will tell you though, as an outcome, I get the nine of cups, the smug merchant. He's sitting there happy. So I don't know. I think he may have just as good a chance as anybody else, especially getting this card. As a clarifier, though, I get the Empress card, and the Empress card to me represents fertility and abundance, and it also represents, this card, oftentimes the United States. Whatever the outcome is, I believe that it will be the best outcome for the United States. And being that I think that's a federal level senator position. You know, whoever does get the position, it will be a good outcome. And of course, he gets this Nine of Cups. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But I do see some fighting and some messages. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So there's that.
Okay. And now my question here is, what is the future of Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson? Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna get started. First card I get is the Eight of Swords. I kind of look at this as maybe Kim Kardashian was kind of this is somebody who kind of keeps to themselves, and they can certainly loosen their bondage. This woman can loosen her bondage, and the flood has already happened. She can loosen her bondage, and she can go back to the castle here, which is where she wants to go. But she's keeping herself, tied up in an issue. And I kind of got that this is how Kim kind of felt before she met Pete Davidson. So she was kind of just feeling bound into her situation. The obstacle card being, once again, the Five of Wands, bickering, fighting, kind of even learning how to spread your wings or learning how to move forward. So I think that was her obstacle. But her outcome is the King of Cups, and their outcome as a couple is the King of Cups. And this is actually a very nice card to get. You can see that the King of Cups is emotionally stable. He is sitting there in water that is quite choppy. However, he is very emotionally mature, and he is very just riding the waves. He's got experience. He knows there's not a problem. I'm almost thinking that this might be the type of energy that Pete Davidson is bringing into that relationship. And but I do my fourth card that I grabbed. This is the Four of Cups, and this kind of shows apathy. This gentleman is sitting here. He's not really happy with any of his choices. However, to me, this card always comes up from behind this cup. So I'm thinking that Spirit has like a fourth option for you. So I think that this was kind of Kim sitting here really, really not happy, kind of holding in her place, staying where she was, kind of staying bound in her place, not happy with what was going on. But I actually think the universe brought her a nice outcome, which is actually Pete Davidson. I think they might have a really good future together, and I think he brings actually to the table a level of stability. And actually, although I don't know much about either one of them, he doesn't seem to me to be maybe the most emotionally mature person, but I think he might very well be quite emotionally mature to get this card. And I think he brings that and a level of fun to the relationship that she is looking for. So I actually think they have a pretty strong future.
Okay. What I have for the first card is Seven of Wands. Now, with that one, as far as the boundaries, they persevere with some issues. There's going to be some challenges, as far as with the two different worlds that they come from, two different coasts, that they come from too. As far as then to, teaching and public speaking, basically come up with that too. Maybe the limelight, giving voice, to situations that they both encounter. But yeah, boundaries but yet persevering the challenges. Okay. Yeah. The second card then too is Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. And with that one, it's a lack of focus, pretty much as far as the direction, imperfectionism, but not in a bad way. The imperfectionism is being okay with being an individual, as far as who they are.
Yeah.
Because then the third card is Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And that's a little bit of, the feelings coming up the longer that the relationship moves forward, the lack of security, maybe, thinking about the security of a relationship, and maybe the foresight of planning, okay, coming into play then too. But the clarifying card is One of Roses, commitment. Yeah. So,
yeah.
That way, I mean, even if it doesn't end in, necessarily a traditional marriage, the commitment to their relationship as it, moving forward, being together.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny because as you say that, I also got the thought of them just, who knows what the relationship will really be like going forward, but they'll always kind of be committed to each other or connected in some way, that they're just going to always be good friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Next question then is, will there be more states making funds available for private education instead of public schools? So in other words, to the fundings that are needed for the public schools then being transferred to maybe some funding for private education instead.
Okay, got it.
So what's happening with the public schools?
If you don't mind, I'll get started here. The first card I get is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a new creation coming up, a new creative message, a new creative idea. So I'm thinking that as far as more making funds available for private schooling, there's definitely talk behind the scenes about it. They're trying to create a plan, maybe get some a PR plan together, a plan on how they're going to do that funding. So I think that it's definitely on the table, and some states are definitely thinking about that and getting ready to move that forward. The obstacle, though, is illusion delusion. I don't know if it's maybe the best plan that they can put in place. Doing more private school funding. They have a lot of options. The money also needs to go a lot of places, basically to a lot of public schools. But this being in the obstacle or the challenging position tells me that, there's just a lot of just some illusion and some delusion around this. Not only on how maybe maybe the state legislatures are thinking about it, but also on maybe how they're crafting the message that they're getting out to people. So the outcome, though, is the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak, and I'm not really sure if this is the heartbreak because the states don't go through with the funding or they don't get it passed, or if this is heartbreak more on the public school side that they are losing funding. Not really getting a read either way with that at the moment. But I did pull one final card, and that's also the Devil, which is restrictions. I'm thinking that maybe the money will be more, maybe states will do the private school funding, which will put more restrictions on the public school systems. So now that I'm looking at this a little bit more, this may be public schools kind of not being too happy about this because they're going to come under some restrictions as far as their funding. So, I think that there may be more states taking that on and providing some type of funding for these private schools that, again, will take it away from the public schools.
Okay. All right, the first one I have is Eight of Swords upright. And with that one, what I was picking up more is the isolation, that the separation of the traditional public school system, but it's needing to bring change, getting honest with the situations of what's really going on. Are we going to be able to educate more children in public school systems, or is it going to be for a select few with that funding? So being honest, bringing about change with that. Being aware of paralysis. So being, as far as what area is not working. Okay, and then we've got the Chariot upright, the second card. And that one is more of the conflict, the troubles coming up. But then there's a little bit of victories, the balancing, success. So I think as far as they're going to relook at how many more children they can help with the public school system. Okay, the more private education, you're looking at more of the funding that maybe those parents have more avenues of revenue going to them already, that maybe as far as more public school systems need to have more of the funding at that particular juncture as far as with the success moving forward for them. Third card is Seven of Swords in reverse. But it's don't give up, break free, avoid the arguments. Okay, so kind of dissolving the disillusion and focusing on the groups as a whole. How would it be more advantageous to educate more people as far as rather than just a select few moving forward? And then the clarifying card is reflection. So having to relook at the systems that are already in place or that are being put in place, and making sure again that it's going to be helping and being reflective of the communities and the country moving forward with educating the young.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that for that one?
All right. All right. I think this will end up being our last question.
Okay.
The question here is, will Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican from Georgia, win her reelection?
Okay.
Will Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican from Georgia, win her reelection? Okay, I can get started here. The first card that I get is the Nine of Pentacles. This card makes kind of, to me, represents her. She has abundance. She definitely has money around her. She is her own woman. I mean, she's sitting there, and I think that's a hawk that she has with her, or a falcon actually. I think it's a falcon, and she's sitting in her abundance, and she is really kind of enjoying her position and what she's earned and where she's going in life. So that's her. The obstacle right now is, I think she needs to make a decision, or she feels there is some indecision. Is she going to run again, maybe, or what kind of plan should she have in place? So I think that she is thinking about, there are some questions that need to be answered. I don't know also, and you might know, Terri, if that court decision was made, as far as if she could run again. I actually think she's going to be allowed to run again, but I don't know if that's actually come down or not.
I believe it is that she's able to be on the ballot.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay,
mm-hmm.
But her option, or I'm sorry, her obstacle then will be, if not that, will should I run again? Whatever, some indecision with that. But her outcome actually looks very looks kind of good. I mean, if she does run, the Ace of Cups, it's emotional, and it's a spiritual kind of backing. I think that she has a good chance of winning. And the fourth card that I got, the Knight of Pentacles, sitting there, really kind of getting a stable answer on this. I feel that she probably will. I shouldn't say probably will, but she may actually be around for a long time. This is a very slow moving card. And if she does run, I think she has a good chance to win. And I think that she will be around for a while on these cards. That's, what I'm getting.
Okay. All right. So my first card is the Two of Cups in reverse. And with that one, I'm picking up as far as relationships imbalance, a breakup, Disharmony, separation, abandonment, and communication problems. So a lot going on there in the reverse position. Now, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse then is the second card. And again, it comes up in balance. So there's a lot of imbalance within that election. As far as the work and commitment to it, ruined reputations right on there. So as far as her reputation, moving forward, toxic environment, that's basically in her situation for the election. So doesn't look good as far as the election process for her. The third card then is the Hangman in reverse. And that one, as far as denials, martyrdom, taking a stance as far as that, putting herself in the position of being a martyr. Guilty conscience is also on there. Egotistical, and then the indecisions of like waffling and weighing, as far as situations, and then delays. So, and that's in the third card position. But in the clarifying position is birth. So as far as with that one, as far as you wouldn't think, as far as in an infancy, acting, as far as birth, being a child, being just born, the knowledge that you still have to learn moving forward. So with all that, as far as the cards in connection, is more of a disconnect with all the chaos, being a child about things, maybe as far as the situation moving forward for the election. So I'm not feeling so good that, as far as winning her reelection, I'll say, would not give me the indication that that's going to be the case. I don't think that she's going to be moving forward. There's going to be too much chaos and having to rethink the situation as far as with the educated background needing to move forward of the things that have happened in the past.
Okay. Sounds good. So, well, that is our last question for today. I know that you could certainly, we're going to have list how you can reach us below in the description box with our website information or our contact information. So we're going to be trying to do these shows pretty much weekly and put them out there. So please like, share, and subscribe, as it always helps the channel. And with that, I'm going to say good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.